Have you ever thought that a sudden decision can change the course of your life in an instant? This is what happened to Laura, a strong and determined woman who had to face an incredibly difficult situation. Her husband Marco, in an unexpected move, decided to sell half of their apartment. The discovery hit Laura like a bolt from the blue, but her response to this challenge demonstrated a strength and resilience she didn't know she had. Stay with us until the end to find out how Laura dealt with this incredible turn of events and how she found the strength to transform her life. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our exciting and engaging stories. Laura was a woman who deeply believed in the value of family and mutual commitment. She had built a life with Marco, working hard to save and build a future. At that moment, Laura felt her world collapse around her. When Marco came home to confront Laura, she couldn't believe her eyes. The man in front of her seemed like a stranger. How did I not notice these changes before? Laura wondered. However, instead of dwelling on the past, Laura decided it was time to focus on the present and find a solution. With unshakable determination, she suggested to Marco that if they were to buy a new apartment together, it should be in both their names. "We've worked hard and saved diligently for this moment," Laura said. "It's not fair that the property is in your name alone." Marco, visibly irritated, tried to remain calm, but the tension was palpable. "Why does it matter whose name the apartment is in?" he asked angrily. "We're a family. That's what matters." Laura, calm but determined, replied, "If it really doesn't matter, then let's register the apartment in my name." This took Marco by surprise and increased his frustration. Laura was not a person who liked conflict, but she understood that this was a battle she had to face. Marco, however, was not willing to give up easily. He had always dreamed of owning a luxury apartment all to himself, a symbol of his success. But now he realized that this desire was causing a rift between him and Laura. The tension between Laura and Marco continued to grow. Marco began to spend more and more time away from home. Laura, although feeling neglected, began to notice changes in Marco's behavior, his frequent night outs and growing emotional distance. It was clear that something had to change. One day, Laura decided to talk to her best friend, Chiara, confiding in her fears. "Chiara, what will I do if Marco leaves me?" Laura asked, her voice shaking. Chiara, tired of seeing her friend suffer, replied, "Laura, you have to defend your rights. You deserve respect, and you shouldn't let Marco treat you like this." And you agree with Chiara and think that Laura deserves more? Leave a comment. We are happy to know your opinion. Laura, after talking to Chiara, decided to confront Marco and ask him directly if there was another woman in his life. The response was devastating. Marco admitted his affair with Elena and declared that he wanted a separation. But Laura, in a surprising turn of events, decided not to give in. "This house is as much mine as it is yours," she said firmly. "If you want to leave, go ahead, but I'll stay here." Marco, surprised by Laura's determination, had no choice but to accept the situation. In the months that followed, Laura began a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. She met new people, including Alessandro, an old childhood friend who reminded her what it meant to feel loved and appreciated. Alessandro was the opposite of Marco. He was kind, thoughtful, and always ready to listen. Over time, Laura and Alessandro began to spend more and more time together, and Laura realized that she was starting to have feelings for him. Meanwhile, Marco and Elena were not doing well. Their relationship, initially based on passion, began to show its cracks. The constant arguments and the lack of mutual trust were wearing them both down. Marco began to realize how much he had lost by leaving Laura. He began to remember the good times they had spent together and realized that the stability and affection that Laura had offered him were indispensable. One evening, after a furious argument with Alina, Marco decided to go back to Laura's house to talk. When he arrived, he found Laura and Alessandro together, smiling and happy. Marco felt a pain of jealousy, but he knew he had lost the right to be jealous. He decided to wait for Alessandro to leave so he could talk to Laura. When they were finally alone, Marco tried to explain his feelings. "Laura, I'm sorry for everything. I made a grave mistake. I let myself be carried away by selfishness and ambition. Please, give me another chance." Laura looked at him, and for a moment the silence was heavy. Then, in a calm but firm voice, she replied, "Marco, I appreciate your apology, but too much has happened. I found my way and I can't go back. I learned to value myself and understand what I really deserve." If you find this story electrifying, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel by activating notifications to be notified every time we publish a new video. Marco, heartbroken, understood that he could not repair what he had destroyed. With one last look at Laura, he walked away, accepting that this was the end of their story. Laura, on the other hand, felt a strange sense of liberation. For the first time in a long time, she felt in control of her life. Over the next few months, Laura and Alessandro's relationship intensified. Alessandro was a man who understood the importance of mutual respect and unconditional love. With him, Laura felt safe and loved. They decided to take things slowly, without rushing, enjoying every moment together. Laura began to explore new interests and passions. She signed up for a cooking class, something she had always wanted to do, but had put off for too long. She met new people and made friends that further enriched her life. Alessandro supported her in every choice she made, encouraging her to pursue her dreams. One day, while Laura and Alessandro were walking along the river, Alessandro stopped, looked Laura in the eyes and said, "Laura, you are an extraordinary woman. I have learned so much from you and I can't imagine my life without you. Will you marry me?" Laura, struck by emotion, answered without hesitation, "Yes, Alessandro, I want it." Their life together was filled with joy and love. Laura found in Alessandro a partner who respected and valued her. Together, they built a life based on trust and mutual support. And every day, Laura thanked the heavens for giving her the strength to overcome difficult times and find new happiness. Human relationships are complex, but every experience teaches us valuable lessons about love and connection. Hoping to have kept you company, we thank you for being with us until the end. See you next time.